They say Dalits were always victims, always oppressed, always silenced. Thousands of years of Brahmin tyranny, they scream in debates, textbooks, and TV panels. But here's the question no one wants to ask. Were Dalits always powerless? Or were they powerful in their own way? Did they only suffer? Or did they also shape India's cultural, spiritual, and intellectual legacy? Let's step out of the narrative factory and look at the truth, with facts, not filters. Who were the Dalits? First, let's be clear. The term Dalit is modern. It didn't exist in the Vedas, the Puranas, or the epics. In ancient India, people were referred to by Varna, broad function, Jati, community, or terms like Antyaja, Chandala, and Shudra. But here's the truth. These weren't always used with hate. They denoted occupations, roles, and treated with respect. In fact, untouchability as a blanket system isn't visible in early Vedic texts. It was not a divine commandment. It was a social evolution, and a painful one. When the marginalized became makers, history isn't just about who was ruled. It's also about who rose. And those we call Dalits today, many were victors, not just victims. Valmiki, once an outcast and hunter, became the sage who gave us the Ramayana. Vyasa, born to a fisherwoman, became the compiler of the Mahabharata and the Vedas. Satyakama Jabala, born to an unwed mother, was accepted as a brahmachari by Rishi Gautama because he spoke the truth. Matanga Muni, born in a so-called lower community but reached Brahmarishi status, revered in the Ramayana. King Bali, a Daitya, not an Arya, was beloved by Vishnu and hailed as generous and just. These are not isolated exceptions. They are proof that ancient Indian society, despite its flaws, had mobility based on merit, not just birth. Yes, injustice existed, but so did resistance. Let's not whitewash anything. There were real injustices. There were rules that humiliated. Texts like Manusmriti, Apastamba, and others did prescribe exclusion. In later eras, untouchability became codified. Temple bans, ritual purity, even violent discrimination. But here's what they won't tell you. These were not universal, not accepted by all, and often challenged. Society wasn't static. There were resistors within the system, not just against it. Hinduism didn't burn the reformer. It absorbed him. Reform began long before Ambedkar. Many think Dalit upliftment began in the 20th century. Wrong. Let's go back to the Bhakti movement. Ravidas, a cobbler by birth, became a saint whose verses still echo in Sikh and Sant literature. Kabir, of unknown parentage, challenged caste with sharp poetry. Namdev, Chokhamela, Basavana, all broke social codes, all found divine acceptance. They didn't ask for revolution. They created spiritual rebellion. They didn't reject dharma. They redefined it. The British, caste codifiers, not liberators. Here's the bitter truth. It wasn't just ancient texts that hardened caste. It was British rule that froze it. They conducted caste censuses. They made jati into legal identity. They categorized Indians as martial or criminal based on birth. Missionary schools demonized Hindu society as static and cruel, ignoring its internal debates. The British didn't destroy caste. They weaponized it to divide and rule. Finally. So were Dalits in ancient India only victims? No. They were poets, sages, warriors, teachers, truth-tellers, and kings. They challenged power and they shaped dharma. Let's honor their pain. Yes, but let's also honor their power. Because history is not just a wound, it's also a weapon. Let's not use it to divide. Let's use it to remember and rise.